Hello and welcome everybody to Teamfight Talkshow. It is time. It's time once again for another episode. A lot has happened since last time. We've had tournaments, we've had announcements, we've had lots of TFT going on. We've had lists making people upset, causing people to react. It's been a crazy time in TFT. It's been a lot of fun though, and we're happy to be back. Before we I'm going to learn to speak English. And then after that, we're going to introduce our guest. But before we introduce our guest, let's introduce our co-host again. Frodan, how you doing?
I'm doing great, DoA. It's been a pretty eventful past couple weeks of TFT. We've had the tournaments. We've had people, really climb high. Some people fell low. We've had a little bit of controversy, a little drama. We got a lot of news. We have Casper on, one of my favorite people to watch, actually. He's just such a cool player for many reasons. We'll talk about it. And also there's 6.5 news. So, there's just so much to break down in this episode. We might be here for a while.
Yep, that's right. It might be one of our longer ones. We'll wait and see. But let's talk to our guest here. Casparwu, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? This is Casper. I'm excited to be here. I can't wait to talk about my thought about the letter and TFT. I'm happy to be here.
All right.
Sweet. Yeah, we're glad to have you on. You've done very well in a couple tournaments this set already. You got a lot of those qualifier points. But before we dive into this, I want to ask you a question that goes way back. I want to ask you, what's the first video game you ever felt competitive in?
Feel competitive.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think it's actually TFT. Honestly,
Okay.
It's TFT. But I've been interested in this kind of game for a while, like strategy game. Like I was playing lots of Slay the Spire. It's pretty the role pretty similar to TFT. But TFT is the first one that is multiplayer.
Game.
So TFT is probably the best game I ever found. It's and once I get caught, just get addicted, and I want to be the very best. And now I'm here.
Wait. Before you continue, what's your favorite class in Slay the Spire?
Favorite class? I probably actually kind of like the innovator one, the scientist one. But
The scientist?
yeah, I like the first. I play all. I don't like the green one actually. I like the red one and the blue one. So.
Okay.
Okay.
So Ironclad and Defect. I see.
I'm a defect main, I would say. That sounds kind of weird when you say it like that, but it's cool how the orbs and stuff work. It's fun. But we'll do the Slay the Spire podcast next time. For now, let's talk.
That's too bad.
Oh, I know. We should do that though. There's so much to talk about.
I actually really love
game.
Slay the Spire. I've played a lot of hours of it. I try to grind Ascension 20 pretty often. My wife also plays a lot too. We do it together.
I seriously no life that game. When I was in Korea last year, I was playing it. I had it for every platform. I had it on Switch, Steam, and my phone. But yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game.
You guys know Jobs, right? Yeah, I watched lots of Jobs, and yeah, love that.
Do you mean Jorbs?
Yeah.
Jobs?
I don't know.
No, it's funny because it's a play. It's specifically his name is referencing Jobs.
For real?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
You just corrected it for him. That was really nice. You know. You knew he meant Jobs all along.
Yeah.
And he typed that out.
Exactly.
Well, let's get to everybody's favorite segment of the show right off the bat. It is the augments, and we've got some really fun ones this week. We do every week, but this week I think they're extra fun. Let's check them out. So as usual, Frodan, why don't you go ahead and take us through these?
Yeah. So the beginning of each show in set 6, we've been laying out a 3-choice augment, and so for this episode, we have choice number 1, Unstable Evolution. We'll use a voice mod changer for 5 minutes just to have a little bit of fun trolling around. Doesn't impact the show too much, except maybe you won't be able to understand us, and Casper's going to have to host probably. 2 is Lifelong Learning. We're going to do an impromptu quiz show with Casper.
God. Oh, no.
Yep.
It's going to be very short. It's not first or 8th, but it's a little preview of what's to come. 3rd is called Woodland Charm, where we asked Casper to draw his favorite TFT champion of all time. I don't know how good he is at drawing, but it's Woodland Charm's like the copy, right, of something. So we're asking him to copy it. And so you vote in chat right now. There's a Twitch poll. Just choose 1 to 3, and depending on what you select, we're gonna go for it. Personally, I love quiz shows a lot. Maybe I'm biased because I won first or 8th, and I have golden spatula behind my green screen when we get it.
All right, well, it's very, very humble as well. But I don't know. I'm the art major. I have a degree in art. I was a graphic designer for a little while, so Woodland Charm is my pick. That is a golden spatula. Wow.
That's right.
Very nice.
I have yet. My printer didn't work, so I didn't get to print Preston and Emily Wang's face and had this spatula plastered all over it. But it'll be in time.
Next time.
I have to go to like Kinko's or something. I don't know, FedEx.
Yeah. Brought to you by Kinko's. Maybe next time.
Imagine that.
What would your choice be? Because you can vote too. If you're in chat right now, you can cast your vote.
Oh, God. I don't know. I don't care. I mean, I'm excited to see what they're gonna choose.
So. All right, I like it. I like the bravery.
Surprise me.
I mean, you don't have to change your voice, so you get to escape that one. That's just on Dan and I. But you'd have to do the other ones. The other ones are completely you focused, actually.
we try to make some of the augments like. Both. We try to go in different directions. Like some of them are just fun, lighthearted, doesn't really interrupt the show. Some adds just straight up content to the show, and others are just kind of like maybe a little out there because you never know. Maybe the guest is really interested. Maybe that's what people want to see.
Yeah. Okay. We have our winner. It looks like it will be lifelong learning.
No.
So it will be a quiz for Casparwu. He is clearly so excited about right now.
Oh, it was close. It was a close vote. If Casper voted,
yeah.
maybe it would have swung things. I believe we won just narrowly.
That's true. It was a one-vote victory for lifelong learning over unstable evolution. But the ones that didn't win will bring those back in future shows. So you'll still have a chance to hear that. But yeah, we're going to do that quiz at some point. Are we going to do that right now, or are we going to do it a little bit
we're
later?
going to do it later. We'll do it later because we want to do news first.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a lot of stuff to come in.
Right, let's check out the news then. We had a couple different patches, actually. We had 12.2, and then we had the 12.2b patch. First of all, the 12.2 patch came in, and it buffed a lot of things, including one of my favorite champions at the set, Gangplank, but also buffed some other stuff. It tried to bring Heimerdinger into line to be more of a carry, brought Urgot back up a little bit, because he was, by far, I think, kind of the least played AD carry. Locket got a bit of a buff. I think the biggest one is the Ornn Forge. The portable forge got sent down to a gold augment, so now you see it all the time. But looking at 12.2, so before we talk about the B patch, give me your initial impressions on 12.2, Casper.
12.2,
Yeah.
like it a lot. I mean, let me take a look. Yeah, I like all the change. I think they balance the game really, really well. Cho'Gath. Oh, they just patched it. I mean, so let me see. Heimer, love to Heimer see the 3 cost back into maybe a little bit too strong. I'm not sure, but love to see the Urgot nerf. Love to see GP buff. I mean, love to see the Urgot buff. And yeah, something they should change next time is probably binary, but they should fix that a little bit. Other than that, I think the game is in a really good spot now. Like very, very balanced. I have lots of fun. So many fireball comms, so. Yeah, really, really good patch.
I agree. It does feel good right now. Dan, how has your 12.2 experience been?
I don't understand what's wrong with me, but the more degenerate a patch is, the more I climb. This patch, I climbed something like 600 to 700 LP, and just before the P patch, and I wasn't really playing like a ton of talent. I was playing some Shaco a little bit, but not a lot. And this felt similar to War Week from Set 4 from Fates. When War Week was out, I climbed 400 LP. I don't understand, and I wasn't playing War Week that often. I don't get it. I think maybe because the meta is really predictable, because everyone tries to like force certain things, and then it becomes easier for me to counterplay because for example, I think one thing that people weren't doing is if they didn't have Quicksilver, you just put a Frozen Heart on a backliner like a Janna or something, and they'll never kill your AD carry. So I actually played a decent amount of Jhin. I know Jhin is like weak against assassins, but like whenever I was like really afraid I was rotating into any kind of like Shaco play or anything like that, I just play like Frozen Heart and they couldn't do anything, and my Jhin with Giant Slayer would just 2-tap them. So I think that overall the patch got a bad rap because by the very end of it, I don't even think Talon was that big of a problem. Swain was a little bit problematic going into P patch.
Imperials were, a bit.
Yeah, but there's some really interesting comps, right? Like Heimer reroll is starting to become more popular, so is MF. Some people were crazy enough to play a Lowy reroll. I don't know who. Overall, some really interesting stuff was happening going into the B patch.
I know who. I've looked at that lol chess profile. Vi reroll, Lowy reroll. It's the Brawl rerolls lately. We should talk about that as we go into the B patch here. We'll check out the changes for the B patch. You know, basically, a Portable Forge, things were nerfed a little bit more. Those items are still a little bit strong. Cho'Gath got nerfed down a bit. The Imperials got nerfed a little bit. But I want to talk a little bit about what Dan just mentioned. The rerolling bruisers, whether it's the Alawi, the Vi. I was watching a little bit of your stream today. It started with a Vi reroll. I mean, it didn't go great today. I'll admit the results probably weren't what you were looking for. But where's the appeal? What do you see in that, Casparwu?
Oh, I was trying to go interface, play some comp that nobody's gonna play, and I think Fire is so underrated, and so as Yilawi. And well, you guys will see a mid set, so yeah.
We will see at mid set. Oh my gosh.
I love it.
There's no way you're actually gonna reroll Alawi at mid set. There's no way.
I mean, people have been talking that about set. When I play set reroll in set 5.5, people have been like doubting me. When I play chop shot, people doubting me, and see what happened. They become the S tier comp. So who knows? Maybe in 2 weeks, Ilawi reroll will gonna be the best comp in the game. And Mata probably gonna nerf it, but Mata is already aware of the dangerous situation about this champion, and as such, and so as a pancake century roll comp. So yeah, so probably just abuse it while you can.
Abuse Alawi reroll while you can. Please do, especially if you're in my game, because you're not as good as Casper, and you're probably just gonna go 8th. So I like.
You know, I gotta say too, I did see some pretty good results with a composition that's near and dear to my heart right now, which is Twin Shot. You did do well with that, and I've been saying Twin Shot is way better than Twin Shot specifically is way better than people think it is right now. I want to hear your opinions on this. We talked about this a little bit before the show, but go ahead and tell the people what you told me.
Yeah, for Twin Shot, pretty underrated. I'm pretty sure I play lots of Twin Shot game in my stream as well. Twin Shot give a lot of AD, 40 AD to all the Twin Shot unit plus 70% chance. Pretty much a complete item. 4th item on your carry, so lots of people only play 2 Twin Shot because the TFT influencer doesn't only play 2 Twin Shot. They don't really think about the game, but sometimes you have to think about the game as you surprise you. You'll probably there's a comp that nobody's playing, but it's really really good, such as the Pancake Century roll comp.
Yeah, I like Twin Shot especially because Urgot kind of is a composition, or rather Urgot Bruiser kind of needs a little bit extra power. Like you want a Knife's Edge, you want like a cybernetics, something to like buff the attack of Urgot to make him really powerful. And sometimes if you lack damage, you can just go deeper in Twin Shots and, like Casper said, just get actual power that way. So yeah. I think people don't think about it critically enough, and they're like, this is unpickable. Like, why would I ever pick this augment to give me +1 Twin Shot, or why would I ever like play Kog'Maw and GP late game? You know.
The amount of AD you can get on your team via like augments and Twin Shot trait is just like it's amazing. Actually, you just melt teams sometimes. It's fun, and you farm gold at GP because he starts hitting more and hitting harder and getting you that gold. So it's all good. But anyway, let's move on. That's enough for news as far as patch notes go. Unless anyone has any.
Yeah, I just want to say
thoughts.
quickly
Go ahead.
that Portable Forge, while it's pretty imbalanced in a lot of scenarios, especially if you get Gold Collector first and you just farm infinite gold. I think that it's just so fun to pick because there's just so many different things that we don't expect. Like the amount of games where I see people like Fast 9 because they picked up a Randuin's and they just like full clump and then they play like Morello and Chalice or something like that. Like people aren't thinking about that stuff. They're thinking about Infinity Force on Fiora. They're thinking about Death Defiance on like a Warwick or like a Yone. They obviously think about Gold Collector plus whatever. Or even Mana Zane on like Victor. But like there's every one of these options are situationally kind of insane. And it's just some of the most fun I've had in TFT picking Portable Forge more often. So I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm really happy they moved it down to gold because those items are a ton of fun to play with for sure.
Still way too strong. Still way too strong. They probably need to nerf it like another round.
Well, who even knows if it's going to stick around past mid-set, right? Like they said they were swapping out some augments, so they might take it out. I hope they don't, but I suppose it is a possibility if it ends up being a problematic augment, which it definitely could be. But I think it's time. Casparwu, you ready? You ready to test your set 6 knowledge?
Wait, is this all of our news?
I'm not ready.
I mean, oh no, never mind. We have the dev drop. Hold on, I'm just excited about the quiz, and I can't read the run of show apparently. We did have the dev drop. And it's big news, right? Because we learned a little bit about set 6.5. We learned a little bit about set 7. They tease that is going to be a dragon-focused set, which is going to be really fun. But let's talk a little bit about 6.5 now. Alistar coming in. What else kind of jumped out at you? Did you get a chance to watch this, Casparwu?
Yeah, I definitely did. Excited about the new champion. I read about the leak in Reddit. Like 3 new champion to TFT. I don't know if I should talk about this. Like Silco, Sonata. I probably shouldn't, right? Never mind.
I mean, so they said that Silco is coming to TFT, so that's not
no
surprise.
Silco's in it.
I'll say it for you, since Casper doesn't want to get in trouble. There's been leaks from China because I guess they're in the future, and also it's just hard to control leaks anywhere, especially when it's global. But there's discussions of Renata being part of TFT, and Zeri. These are like champions that we don't really know much about, and they've never been in TFT. And then some favorites coming back, right? Like Ari is rumored to come back. Gnar, Alistair's never been in TFT before, and he's going to come back too. Sejuani. So there's going to be some real interesting stuff. I think one of the things that I'm excited about is, or it's rumored that Irelia is coming back as a 4 cost, and her in set 3, while it could, in some ways, Irelia set 3 is a lot like Yone. It feels like it ends fights really quickly. It was also kind of hyped to see some crazy comebacks and close fights. So I would love it to see if that ends up being the case.
Well, some of the stuff we know is confirmed, at least the Draven. They've mentioned a couple of them. Sivir's coming back. Hopefully she won't disable people's attack like she did in set 2. I'm sure she'll have a different ability because that was insane.
That was an item though that did that.
Yeah, but you put it on Sivir and just bounce everybody. Yeah. You know what I mean. You know, you were there. But it's gonna be interesting. I'm surprised a little bit that they teased set 7 already. Are you a little bit surprised?
Oh, Ilawi. Oh my god. Yeah. Yes. Sorry.
Right. Just thinking about thinking out loud about Ilawi.
No, Casper's reading chat. That's what he is right now. Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that's coming up. What's really crazy is that it's like a week and set 6.5 hits PBE, which is just like outrageous. I'm still like learning. Yes, exactly. I'm still like learning different aspects about set 6 right now. And it feels like there's things that I've never played. Like, for example, there's this augment called Gold Reserves, which is every gold you have is more power to your mercs. And I heard that if you have this and you reroll MF, it's actually like a guaranteed top 2. But I've never been in that scenario, and I picked it one time and I went like 6, but I played it really badly. So I was like, oh, I want to try that again. And I've never gotten the chance to do that. There's so many things like this in set 6 that I personally want to try, and I don't think I'll ever be able to, no matter how many games I queue. And it's frustrating, but at the same time, that's what makes it so good.
There's never been more hidden comps in the game than there are right now, in that there are comps that people can make work under very specific circumstances. But I'm curious, because Casper, I would assume you've played everything at this point, but are there any comps you've never played in set 6?
Set 6? Probably Cillian reroll. Still trying to make it work. Cillian reroll, Syra reroll. Syra reroll can really make it work, actually.
I haven't played it.
What else can I reroll? Let me think about.
I tried
Syra. I heard Cillian reroll is like my last comp that I need to make it work, and this comp is done. Because I already play a lot of TFT this set. I've been spamming grinding since PBE. I should get burned out like a couple weeks ago, and take like a week off, but I come back now. I'm like the best player again. So, all right.
Now, Fat, I like it. I like it. Casper's coming for the rank 1. He's coming for the rank 1.
Hey, Socks with
Zillion reroll.
Reroll's legit. All right. Socks says Zillion reroll is legit with built different. Interesting. I got to try that. Put on the list. But
all right.
Normal games were made for a reason. Double up on double down, right? Because double up has been doubling down on double up. Double up's been really fun, and I'm glad it's sticking around. I'm glad they're going to put more work into things like making the online ranking systems work a little bit more smoothly. It's good that it's getting some love. Now, Dan, I know you've played a lot more double up than I have, so why don't you speak to this for a moment?
Yeah, so double up is really fun, especially if you approach TFT casually. But the more that competitive players touch it, the more we realize that there's a lot of small little bugs, right? Like how does teleporting to your opponent's board interact with a lot of different augments and items and traits? There's just like a lot of bugs. And then second, the game mode's just incredibly imbalanced. Because you take solo queue rules and put in double up, it's just like way too easy to hit certain 3-stars, and then all of a sudden the game just becomes completely like lopsided. So they're gonna have to balance the game mode independently. And I think that's something that's really interesting. Like, you know, how do you tackle this on? Because most people that I know who stream other games, right, like League of Legends or Valorant or even just outside the Riot world, they actually love playing double up in TFT. But if you ask like Soju and Milk, who won the most recent double tournament, they think it's kind of, you know, sleeper. They don't think it's actually that exciting right now. So how can we find a way to make both these camps really happy without losing one or the other is probably the challenge that Riot has. But I'm glad to know that they're going to continue to develop it, because this is really fun. And ultimately, I would love for Riot to eventually develop 4v4. That'd be really cool too. And then you just face another team, like, you know, Casper, me, you, and esports law, right? Versus Soju, Milky, and all of them. That'd be really fun to do.
Yeah, 100%. And I like what they're saying here too, where it's right now double up has a lot of consistency, and that it's very easy to make a lot of 3-stars. It's easy to kind of like make these super powered comps, which is fun. But if you put it, like you said, in the hands of players that are too good, it becomes a little bit too one-dimensional in certain ways. Have you played a lot of double up yet, Casper?
I have not. I play a single game of double up.
All right, then.
I mean, just go for regional. That's all I care about at the moment.
That's right.
So
Man on
maybe
a
next set we get a partner. Maybe I just consider rank 1, rank 2 maybe will be my partner, and we just go to win world double up, something like that. Yeah.
I think they just need a good ranked mode. I think part of the reason why is when they make it like hyper, like blue tier, purple tier. What? No one cares about that. But if you could find a way to get like Masters, GM, and maybe even Challenger, people would be like, yeah, that's actually something to play for.
Who would your double up partner of choice be? Out of curiosity.
Of choice.
Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe Solus. Actually, down. Yeah, Solus doesn't have partner, right? I mean, and he's really good, so maybe Solus.
All right.
Okay.
We actually talked about that before, so yeah.
There you go. Well, Solus, if you're listening.
A serious answer. I was kind of expecting a meme, like Mort Dog or something.
That's probably a good partner too. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, let's move on. The Tome of Traits getting a little bit of a rework. Before it was a bit ambiguous as far as how this worked. You knew you could kind of influence it by what you put on your board at a certain time, but now it will have hard and fast rules that are well known. What do you think about this, Casper?
I like it. I get mod dot earlier. I have a tray of Tome as my second Augment. I have like 5 Innovator on my board. I open it. There's no Innovator emblem, and I just lost my game because of it. It cost me a placement or 2. I mean, yeah, love to see that. Love to see the change. Love to have the more way to control my the Augment. The Tome I can choose.
Yeah. I think it's really good to have agency over the randomness. I mean, a lot of I heard it best said in the past, and I agree with this, where if there's going to be something random that happens in a game, the player should be able to see the random thing and then react to it, rather than make a choice and then have something random happen in response. And Tome of Traits always felt a little bit like that. Like you were having to just kind of deal with this random thing that's happening, but now that we kind of know how it's going to operate, you can kind of make your decisions and then, be able to react to a more tailored RNG sort of situation. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest problem with Tome of Traits was that it's actually not true what was said beforehand. I believe it said that you need to have 5 active like champions on the board or units, but the reality is it only needed 3. I think it needed 5 traits. And so if you actually were very clever about Tome of Traits, you could manipulate it to like almost guarantee mercenary emblem every single time. If you had a Lowy and GP because you can't get twin shot, and like Lulu or something like that. Because like Lulu, you can't get a Yordle emblem, you can't get an Enchanter emblem. So there was like some different things that you could do to really manipulate it, but they were so obscure and it was very confusing. I mean, everything that Moore said in this first sentence was correct. They were hidden. It was confusing. It was unclear. Like it's the 1, 2, 3. It's like, this is terrible. So I'm glad that they fixed it and, they owned up to it. And this definitely helps everybody involved.
Absolutely. Well, let's move on from the Tome of Traits. There's another episode of Dan's new show. Don't ask or don't talk if you don't know. I got it.
Don't
there
ask.
It is. Don't ask, and don't ask about it either. And it looks like if I know that email correctly, it's Delicious Milk joining you this time.
That's correct. So tomorrow night, actually exactly 24 hours from now, we're going to be doing our second episode. Bryce and myself will be having Milk, and we're going to be releasing our next edition of Top 15, the power rankings. A lot of updates came in based off of tournaments like Zon Cup, Challenger Series, even the Alicoin event, as well as ladder snapshots and other things. So we'll talk about it. Milk personally has chosen 3 players to do a report card on himself, Soju and Kiyun. So that's going to be really fun. And of course, we're going to be breaking down all different players and anybody new that joined the list and anybody that got kicked off the list. And I will say, spoiler alerts, there are some big movements happening. So you definitely don't want to miss it.
All right. Any comments on Don't Talk If You Don't Know, Casper? What do you think about episode 1? And then what do you think about the possibility of episode 2? Oh yeah,
I love it. I can't wait to see episode 2. I love to see like all the. I love to see Esports a lot talk. Love to see Frodan talk, and love to see another top challenger talk about how they think about the ladder, talk about TFT in general, what they think about the best players are, and also people think about a different perspective. So I disagree with some of them, but I have my own personal opinions on it, like apart from everyone else. So it's really interesting. So yeah, if you guys haven't watched episode 1, go watch it tonight and go catch up episode 2 tomorrow. I'll be there for sure, 100%. I even was there 30 minutes earlier prior to the episode 1 last time. I sent my entire chat there, and yeah, it was fun.
It is really fun. I did love episode 1 as well, but you know what I love the most is that the image you use makes it look like you and Bryce are in a 90s sitcom.
Yeah, it was like Saved by the Bell graphics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of the person. That's just me. But either way, episode 2 coming tomorrow of Don't Talk If You Don't Know. It's gonna be a great time. But let's move on. Finally, I mean it this time. It's time for the Augment quiz. I've got it right. Finally, 3rd time's a charm, right? So let's get to the questions. Casparwu, are you ready?
Wait. We need some preamble. We need some preamble. One piece of news that wasn't revealed was that Meta TFT has released data on augments. This is actually something that I think is really interesting because I don't think the TFT community actually talks a lot about data in a meaningful way. They only use it very sparsely. And it's interesting because not that augment data on Meta TFT is supposed to be, any kind of Bible that we follow, but it certainly drives discussion. And so that brings us to the question of, does Casper know a lot about augments from the data perspective? And so this is where the augment quiz will come in. All right, now you can go.
We're gonna find out. All right, it's time. Casper, are you ready? All right, what's the highest performing silver augment that isn't trait based?
Wait, dominance is not there because I'm pretty sure I increased dominance, the augment data by 1,000% last night. So,
this is across the entire thing.
Not enough apparently.
I'm pretty sure it's calculated loss. It's not even close. This is so broken. It's so broken. It's not a silver augment. Come on, man. It's a golden augment. Do something about it. Calculated loss.
It's calculated loss.
Final
All right,
answer.
is it?
The answer is. Roll. We have a way to show the answer.
Do we? Oh, okay. We can just tell you if we don't.
Oh, the answer is calculated loss. All right, it was an easy one. We want to throw you an easy one to start things off.
I'm impressed, though.
Maybe they become harder. We'll see.
He knows his augments. Let's find out. Question number 2. Let's see it. It is. Which of these gold augments is scored in D tier with a 4.8 finishing average? Is it Clear Mind, Salvage Bin, Thrill of the Hunt 2, or Trade Sector?
I'm just gonna go with Clear Mind. I have no success playing with this in a high challenger lobby. You make your board really weaker. I don't care about how much gold they gave you. You just make your board weaker. I don't like this augment, so I'm gonna go with Clear Mind. Also, by the way, I don't like Trade Sector either.
Really?
Especially in this econ meta. Yeah, I don't like it at all.
You're a reroller. How could you hate Trade Sector? That's crazy.
No. I just Clear Mind here. I just Clear Mind. I never play this augment again. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Well, there you go. You were right.
Wow. There you
impressed.
Go. Intuition completely follows the data so far. Not bad,
He feels it. and wills it into being.
Oh god, I'm actually helping out like people in mid-set. Oh, that's not good. I should be trolling here. I should be fooling around. I'm leaking all my knowledge here, so it's really, really bad.
Right. Well, you've got one more bit of knowledge to leak before we're done with this. Don't worry.
Right.
Question number 3 is coming in. Which one of these prismatic augments is not in S tier? As in, it doesn't have a 4.0 average or better. Is it Stand United 3, Woodland Charm, New Recruit, or Chemical Overload 3?
Chemical Overload. I mean...
Wow, instant pick.
Wow, that was really fast. Why would you think it's Chemical Overload 3?
Chemical Pilaf, that's it. That's my reasoning.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you're wrong. It's New Recruit.
What?
Yes.
They don't play the game. Oh my god. How bad is NA, man? How bad is NA?
This is
don't know how to use that
global
extra
data.
spot.
Global data.
That's
They
not
don't
what
know
I
how
gotta say, man.
People just don't know how to use that extra spot, I guess, you know? They're like, I don't
It's
know.
true. Woodland Charm,
Fun.
Woodland Charm, Chemical Overload, and Stand United 3 all have 4.0 or better on their data.
Below? Fawn is below? What?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't believe it. It's actually what?
I was shocked at first too, but if you think about it, a lot of players, and because this is all of TFT, so I'm sure a lot of players are like, oh, extra spots sounds great, and then they're like, wait, I don't have any meaningful traits to put in this, and I don't have any good champions to add into it. So essentially, they just give themselves no augment and like a target dummy with like 700 HP, right? So I bet that is the majority of why it's not performing as well.
It's also because there's a couple of things. So like one, if you do end up being in a position where you take Chemical Overload, it's probably because it's good. And so you're probably not choosing it unless it's like situationally very, very good.
That's true.
And the second is that New Recruit's so popular that, you know, you're in a prismatic lobby and New Recruit sometimes isn't good enough to keep up with, let's say, 2 extra syndicates and they hit 7 syndicate, right? Or the Imperial Crowns and they just like completely dunk you. So sometimes New Recruit can take a lower placement because of that. So the popularity might actually sabotage it here. Either way, I thought that was really fun. So thank you, Catherine, for playing.
It is a fun one, indeed. So Casparwu, you did great. You got 2 out of 3 correct, which is pretty impressive, actually. But now I'm prepared to be... Wait, before we go on, how do you feel you did? Do you feel like that was good enough, or do you think you should have gotten all 3?
He's typing in chat right
He's thinking. He's paying more attention to chat than us. That feels kind of bad.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I have ADHD, so...
No worries.
No problem.
Yeah, I love to chat. Yeah, so...
You're a
memer first.
Wait, what's the question again?
It doesn't matter. I was going to ask you to judge your own performance. Yeah, we're going to go on. We're going to go on to everybody's segment. It's the segment we like to call...
I did it in school as well. I did it in class. I learned nothing. In high school, in college, I learned nothing. I was just doing my own stuff in class, like doing about stuff. Like anyway, just move on.
Me too. No, really. There's a reason I ended up in esports, and it's not because I got straight A's. Let's move on to everybody's favorite segment, though. It's going to be Agree. Our first question today on Agree is assassin-type traits are important for the health of the game. There was recently a controversial thread on Reddit that inspired this question, but we wanted to get your take on it, Casper. What do you think? Agree?
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, of course, Steam player. If you don't play Steam player, I mean, it's of course healthy. I can't imagine a game without Steams. I mean, I am a Steams player, so you can't take this away from me. So healthy, gotta be healthy.
Don't take your assassins away. All right. So that's a hard agree then. If we could have a gigantic check mark, that would be what we would need to put for you. But I think we just
don't contest me, though. Don't contest me. That's it. That's all I ask for.
Just don't contest him. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
No contesting.
No scout. No pivot.
Dan, what do you think? Are you going to contest the Agree?
I think I agree here. The reason why is because I think that it's frustrating to lose to assassins, but that's because assassins are seldomly extremely powerful. And when they are powerful, they're almost like unanimously across the board very powerful because the trait does not play very nicely with numbers. Crit in general has always been problematic in TFT. That's why they nerfed crit a lot. And so when crit becomes very strong, particularly with assassins, it gets really out of hand very quickly. And so the burst doesn't feel fair. But that being said, it's no different than crazy burst traits that, can really get online very quickly, right? Like my wife, for example, her least favorite champion in the game by far is Lux. She just hates when her backline gets deleted instantly, and that's almost like backline access. But I think it's important because you need to have multiple strategies and things that exist in TFT. I think we can have a set without assassins, but you have to have something that can replicate backline access. Otherwise, front to back just gets really boring, and all you have to do is just really stack like super tanks, and then that's it.
We need a one that like runs backwards off the board and just like comes around the other side, you know? Kind of like it ran around the entire Earth.
So you mean
Akshan?
Like
yeah, sort of Akshan, sort of set, sort of Lee Sin if you kick somebody onto your board instead. But either way, I'm gonna agree with this one too. Looks like it's an easy agree for chat as well, 82%. And it's for a lot of those same reasons, right? I mean, if I think it's good to have something that threatens the back line, like assassins do or infiltrators and all that, Shade as well. And I love the way that it makes you have to scout and have to play differently. It just makes the game more interesting. So easy agree for me. I think it'd be a more boring game if it wasn't that case. So let's move on to our second agree question. It is, there should be more in-game recognition of pro player accomplishments. Casper, agree?
In-game recognition of pro player accomplishment. Game recognition. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. What's this one trying to say? Like more incentive or for tourney or what? In-game recognition of pro player accomplishment.
Yeah, you know how like in Summoner's Rift, like the winning team of the World Championship every year, they get like team skins in the game essentially. So some sort of recognition like that. Yeah, not necessarily a skin, but some sort of recognition of like the players that win worlds in TFT. You know, that type of thing.
Very nice. I agree. 100%. 100%. Now, next set they should probably make a champion after me, after I win well. Agree. Okay. I agree.
Good to know.
I agree. Then make the game more fun. Reward the player. Yeah.
All right.
100%.
Frodan, what do you think?
It's really hard to disagree with this one. Like, I'd be actually more interested if anybody legitimately feels like it's a disagree. I'm pretty sure the PR team at Riot would probably disagree, because if, let's say, person X is the world champion and then, heaven forbid, like a year later they're exposed of being some kind of predator or being the person that's like really toxic and awful to work with, then all of a sudden they're kind of like immortalized within the game. I think Blizzard actually had this exact problem with naming their character McCree, and then it turns out Jesse McCree is not cool. Not very cool. So they have to rename an entire like hero in Overwatch. Whether or not people can argue it's performative, I'm not here to discuss that. But that's probably the only group of people that would legitimately disagree with this. Everything that it's just a unanimous agree. Why not celebrate people who put thousands of hours, the best years of their youth, who dedicate every morning, afternoon, and evening thinking about how to get better at this children's board game, this digital anime weeb board game. Like it's really important that we kind of recognize people's accomplishments in general, on top 100%. Of those who are able to climb into a game that's played and competed amongst millions of people around the world.
100%. And I agree too, and I think I agree the PR thing has become a concern, unfortunately, because of some of the things that has happened in other games. But at the same time, we do need to have that recognition, I think, for the best players in esports, and I think there's a way to do it in which you don't expose yourself to those risks, right? For instance, with going back to the Summoner's Rift thing, right? They do skins based on the team that won, right? So if there were ever a case, God forbid, where a player would, make a mistake like that and, do something bad, you wouldn't need to remove that skin, because the skin wasn't about the player, it was about the team. It might have little references to that player's playstyle or something like that, but it's nothing that makes it, overt, right? So maybe something in TFT could be done, something like that reminds you of a player or a team or something, but doesn't outright, like, you don't name it after it. As much as Casper wants to have a champion named after him in the game, I don't think we can do that, Casper, no matter how good you get. I'm sorry.
I think the three people who disagree are like the three people who don't want Solus in the game if he wins the world championship.
After he wins the double up championship with Casper, Well, let's move on to our third agree question of the day. Our third and final question for agree. Special items like Tome of Traits should be exclusively an augment. Casparwu, agree?
So basically not
It's
dropped from
really
PB.
hard this
Yeah.
one because in a tourney, if you hire a tome, it's just illegal, right? But at the same time, in ladder, it's very kind of fun. And getting a Nico, getting a tome from Cross is very kind of fun. So it's a 50-50. I'm not sure. I don't have an answer. But yeah, in tourney, you get a tome, like Soju said, it's illegal. So I don't know. I have no idea.
So maybe
All
in
right.
tournament
All right.
realm, there's a tournament settings checkbox. And tournament settings, things like Tome of Traits don't drop.
Yeah,
From
make them
PvE
like
rounds.
Smash Bros. Turn items off, you know?
Oh,
There you
that's
go.
right. No items, only champions. This is
Yeah.
Dota Auto Chess. Who actually makes items on their heroes? Nobody.
Yep.
You just fight with the synergies and whatever you hit. If you hit Tidehunter, you win. You don't, you die.
Only the
That's what
leisurely
auto
beach
chess is.
background. That's what we need. Well, what do you think? Do you agree, disagree, halfway in between?
I think high roll moments should exist, but the problem is that the Tome of Traits is just not a like balanced high roll, if that makes sense.
Mm.
It's just it's so powerful, and because you can manipulate it, it becomes very, very, very strong. And I really don't like when the game feels like I don't like it when the game becomes such a lack of decision making that's important that it makes the winner feel bad, right? Like the winners in games like TFT should feel good, and it feels like a lot of times when you get like this crazy high roll Tome of Traits, it doesn't even feel like it makes the winner feel like embarrassed that he won the way he did, because it's like you took the skill out of his hands or their hands in order to like accomplish it. So I guess I also am 50-50. So I'm gonna do agree disagree, and I leave it up to DoA to decide if the panel agrees or disagrees.
This is a lot of pressure. You know, I have to pick one. I feel like I've been in a position where I can't waffle. I can't flip flop like you guys. I have to pick either agree or disagree here. So let me think. Special items like Tome of Traits should be exclusively an augment. I am gonna say agree with this actually, because I like Dan said, I honestly don't feel that great when a tome drops, and when other people get tomes, I don't feel great either. It is a powerful enough thing to happen that I think it should be something that you make a choice to engage with. It should be an augment, and so yeah, I'm gonna say agree. And you know what? I am the decider, because
You are the
chat
decider.
is exactly tied as well, right? 16 to 16.
Okay.
So it's just me. It's just me. I've got the only vote one way or the other, and I'm gonna pick agree. So that's what we all pick. That's democracy. There you go.
Wow.
On the popular vote.
It's so
I won.
hard. I think Casper summarized it correctly. In the right circumstances and environments, it's really fun and it's great. But in others, it just feels awful, both to watch and to actually, like, in some cases play. So
Yeah. Well, there you go. That was fun.
quite a conundrum.
I know. I've never seen everyone tied exactly like that. That's a new one. Let's move on to esports. That's right. It's like sports, but electronic sports. Hence the E. Zon Cup results coming in hot. Spicy Appies, iCopy Keen, Liquid Robin, and Goobums, the players that secured spots in the mid-set finale. Casparwu, strong performance, third in Lobby D, got to the final day, just like Piltover Cup. Why don't you take us through your Zon Cup experience real quick?
We should have more games. If I play, if there's 100 games this tourney, I'm guaranteed first for sure. Tourney
like it.
variance is
I like it.
really, really bad. Like, it doesn't really show who is the best player. The best player doesn't mean necessarily get the first place. And look at Young Jim, strong performance day 2, day 3 just get exposed. Not trying to talk shit, but like look at Soju, second overall for day 2, get that last in the day 3. So I'm just saying, I'm the best player. If there's 100 games in the tourney, the best player gonna come out. Tourney fairness, only 5 games, just it doesn't probably show who the best players are. So that's my take. Well, but anyway, have you seen a lot of my boys make it to the score really high? Like Spicy Matthew, my boys, I think he established himself really, really well. Happy for Goobums. I actually having Goobums get first in my lobby. I'm okay with it because he actually worked a lot. You can see the ladder. I like if you pop in tourney, it doesn't mean anything to me. But if you're also high on ladder, it means a lot to me. Because I think the best way from the ladder, if you're high on LP above like 1600, it's just not luck. You're skilled. You're really skilled. And anyway, Yeah, but you can definitely hire in a tourney to get a really high placement. Just like my boy Young Jim in day 2. 38 point day 2, 9 point day 3. Like how is this even balanced? And anyway, I don't know what else to say anymore. I don't want to blame. I don't blame anyone. I'm just trying to be honest. I'm just trying to be real. Like, I'm trying to be real.
I appreciate your realness. You're one of the most real people we've had on here.
I'm so salty because game 5 I get more thought. That's all I'm trying to say. Like I was tied with Socks after game 4 and game 5 he high roll, I low roll, and I'm dead. Like I was playing Mercenary if I lost, I get all gold, no seal component, no item components. And meanwhile Socks is playing without Mercenary. He had 2 Nikos by Wolf. Get 1 Nico from Crest, 1 Nico from Roof. Like he doesn't even play the game. Like he's gonna what? Sorry, I'm trying to be professional. I'm modding. I'm just modding.
No, I like it. I like it. Every minute that passes, Casper's pitch goes higher and higher. I like it to the point where it's just gonna be a squeak at the end.
Let it all out. We're
like,
here.
I'm not sure. Like the last couple of days, I'm just like can't really sleep. My emotion, like on stream, I'm like so mad, like so tilted. Like I'm screaming a lot just because of that. Because of that tourney, I'm still so tilted. So hopefully,
yeah,
just wait. Just wait. Just until me sad. Yeah.
It's driven you to re-rolling a Lowy. That's how bad it's gotten.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like driving me crazy.
Oh, don't worry. 6.5 is coming soon.
I think it's also worth saying that I think your lobby was one of the hardest ones for sure. Just like the quality of a lot of the players that were really high. Do you have any thoughts on, like a player that we don't know much, like I Copy Keen, Coleman? Do you have any opinions on his play?
Oh,
did you get a chance to look at it? Yeah.
Haven't really. I know he was high on the ladder. Actually, I was rank 1 in the beginning of the set, first to master, and I Copy Keen is like the second one. I'm pretty sure, something like that. So, yeah, and he watch also. I think he's have like 1 million channel point in Kiyun stream. So he must have been in Challenger for quite a long time, just like watching people stream. So yeah, I mean, I think he's good. Like even though if I watching him play ever, even though he doesn't stream whatever, yeah, he was being ladder. He's been in my radar. So.
I like that. See, you can trust Casper to actually mean it. He's not just saying nice things because he also will flame. If you ask him an opinion, he'll be honest about it.
Yeah.
I will say one thing about Zoncup, and I've already addressed it a little bit on Twitter. I don't really use Twitter as much these days just because it's social media stuff and my mental health. But I did go on and say that I think that while the Zoncup was really fun and I got the cast and we had some really cool moments in games, the format definitely needed to be improved almost across the board. Day 1, just splitting games 3 and 3. I think Zoncup, if you think Casper got tilted, I cautiously encourage you to go watch Ramkev stream. Like this dude is broken, like straight up. Like I haven't seen Ramkev actually like this down bad in quite some time, and so I feel for him because his score line was absurdly good. He only bought 4 once, and it was a 5th, and he went 1, 2, 2, like 4, 4, 3, 3, 4, or something like that, like 3, 4, 5. And this dude didn't qualify for day 2, and I think that I don't know. That's just not the way we want to test things in TFT. Yes, not every tournament should be testing for the best player. There's so many examples, right? Super Bowl is best of 1. Is that really the best football player or best football team? Maybe not, but we should have some middle ground, right? Between like playing 100 games to determine who's the best player and Clown Fiesta 3 games of TFT. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. I agree. I think it all comes down to the fact that it's tough to run big tournaments like this. I think we need more support so that we can run bigger events that give us a better representation of those players. So hopefully we get that down the line. It's a lot to ask for, I think, in some cases, but you don't want to see players get knocked out like that. But it is what it is for now. Yeah, at least we got tournaments.
And then also, I want these tournaments to also have like a decisive feel, like a finish. Like it's cool that we're like advancing multiple players, but also the ending felt kind of anticlimactic as well, right? Especially like Lobby D, like Ubums literally could do anything, and he already won. It just felt like the games were somewhat meaningless at that point, or at least from the viewer perspective, it wasn't exactly obvious. And so I appreciate a lot of how we've improved. TFT's come a long way, even from just a year ago.
Yeah,
but this cup format was not it for me, personally.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, there's the checkmate format, which doesn't seem to, it's exciting, but it doesn't seem to be quite what TFT needs. And then we've got this, which, is, more averaged out, I guess, but doesn't exactly seem like it yet either. I think TFT, out of all the games I've cast over the years, seems like the most difficult game to design tournament formats for. I really do believe that. And it's a cool challenge, but it's kind of a frustrating one too. So I think we're just going to see a lot more iteration as time goes on. So
yeah,
give us your ideas, everyone. Let's check out the leaderboard points. So again, like the points are important. They're starting to add up. We're starting to get down to the wire here. Casper, I want to hear about your points perspective right now.
Well, Sachiko and Nantime, they shouldn't throw it. If they throw it, they're just trolling. I mean, they should be getting to top 2. I mean, they've been working on it since the beginning of the set. They shouldn't throw it in the end. I don't think there's any reason they should though. I mean, yeah, people should though. Milk might have a chance to steal from one of those guys. But yeah, Sachiko and Nantime, yeah, they should never throw it away. I don't think they will though. I'm pretty sure Sachiko and Nantime will make it.
Yeah, assuming Nantam, downloads the client and shows up. That's apparently why he didn't show up at Zonka, because he showed up too late.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the team, by natures, even tried to be very gracious and help him. Like, hey, here's 10 extra minutes. Can you get it online? We need to start soon. And then Nantam, he made actually a tweet longer about it. He's like, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I'm so clumsy and I mess all this up. But assuming none of that happens, where Nantam forgets to log on to his computer, I guess. It should be Setsuko and Nantam, because Milk talked to me and he says he doesn't think he can catch him.
Well, time will tell, but it certainly does look like that. But yeah, that Tom. It's all the client, man. Get it done. We'll know you get it done next time. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
Let's check out the mid-set finale preview, because it's coming next week already. It's actually blows my mind how quickly we're going into mid-set here. But let's check out the status of things, basically, and a lot of that is based around some of these here qualifier points. So scroll down and check it out. I do see the one and only Casparwu at number 6 on the list. Now, if we looked at this website 100 times, he'd be number 1, but we're only looking at it just this once for now.
Yeah, this list actually starts to get really interesting around the late 20s and 30, because I believe there's some players who have claimed multiple spots. So, for example, Spicy Appy's won Challenger Series, got second in Challenger Series behind Asa, then won his lobby for Zon Cup, and then I believe also had another qualifier spot. So I think, for example, he claimed 3 of them, so they moved 2 down. And then it goes all the way, and I believe what makes it extremely painful is that you start to see how close it is between Milk, Raditz, Berdini, and Bertosaurus. I think none of them get through, if I recall correctly, which is just that's so brutal. It's just I would love to, how can we have a mid-set without Milk? It feels like it doesn't feel like a true NA's best tournament without him there. So, but it is what it is, and it's a little bit of a punishment for him not trying hard enough at the beginning of set 6. So, too bad, so sad.
Casper, when you look at the mid-set finale lineup, what are you thinking? Is it free? Is it going to be tough? What's your plan?
Oh, my bad. Bert made it. He's a person.
I mean, as I said before, it's 30 variants. You never know. It's only 5 games. You can easily get more thought. Yeah. So it's so stressful for a top player who really was trying to. Yeah, that's no matter how good you are, you can still get more thought. So.
Well, what's the best way to try to mitigate then? If if there's certain things obviously you can't avoid, what's the best way to
more ladder player get the best player to represent NA. Best player always on the ladder. You can get lucky in the tourney to make it off from a day, but it's if you get 1600 up here above and consistent and maintain it, that's no luck. Previous set 5 they take a lot of ladder player. This set they take much less ladder player. And I think next set they will learn from these last 2 sets and find a balance number between ladder and tourney. 4 is way too less from ladder, because there are 24 players gonna go to the regional, and only 4 players coming from ladder. Actually, though, because next test for 6.5 as a tourney, qualified based on ladder. So actually, I kind of like it. I actually like it because yeah, if you can even make it to top 32 and do the Innovation Cup or top 28, you shouldn't even consider represent NA and go to the regional. That's my take. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right.
I like it.
Laying down the law. Cool. All right. Well, a lot to look forward to at mid-set. And ultimately, the thing we care about the most is winning Worlds, right? We just want to send the person from NA to Worlds and win it because we haven't won Worlds yet. It's starting to be like Summoner's Rift here. So hopefully we can get something done in set 6.
Whoa, come on.
Yeah.
We've gotten so much closer to winning Worlds in TFT than we have in Summoner's Rift. The closest we got was Season 1 when we was casted in Freak's basement. Where Fnatic took on TSM back then.
Yeah, that was.
Or is it CLG? Yeah. I don't even remember my history for League of Legends. Actually, is really rusty right now.
No, you're right. Fnatic won the first Worlds, but it was like Worlds. Sorry, Fnatic. But it's But,
it's like winning the PBE Invitational. It's like NA won that. Sick.
It's like BlizzCon champion Artosis in Hearthstone, basically. It's that's the equivalent. Yep. But let's move on to everybody's favorite segment. It's the mid-set finale player tier list. So we're doing a tier list a little bit differently.
We missed that only.
Yeah, we touched on this a little bit different. Yeah, so now you got to give us your top 10 for the mid-set finale.
All right, let me look at the list real quick.
Yeah, check it out.
All right, just I put for I put Casper. It's not even a question.
Number one is you.
I'm not even capping. I'm not even trolling. I think I'm the best player. It's like just.
All right.
All right.
I like the attitude.
See. Let me go to second best player. You see the Spencer? 2, 3, 4. Just put Spencer, Robin, and Spencer, Robin. If Mew is here, he's definitely my top 4. But Mew is not here, so it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard.
Robin songs.
So Casper, Spencer, Robin songs. All right. Are you pretty comfortable with them at 2 and 3?
Of course, because they play the same style I play. I believe this is best style to play the game. And Spicy Eppies, maybe 4th.
Okay.
Really? It's super high up for.
And
who else is first time making these lists?
Good results lately.
Actually, the mid-set finale, the player doesn't look that strong. I guess because Kyun is not there, Milk is not there, and who else didn't make it? Ramcaf, they are like my top 8 for sure. Like all these good players. Is Ramblum playing, right? Ramblum is gonna be there. Ramblum might be over Spicy Eppies, I think. Yeah, 4th. But Ramblum has not been doing well recently because I don't think he played enough game. And yeah, you need to play more game. He's so cracked. He might even overtake me as the first place, but he need to play more games.
Wow.
He's gonna need to play more games.
High praise.
And so that's probably a 6. Yeah, so this might be 6.
Okay.
And Sauce 7, and Pocky, and 2 more. Is this Soju? Goobums, Soju.
Okay.
Oh, Soju made a top 10 list.
Right.
Wow.
That's it.
It's happened at least twice now. We're getting there.
All right, I want to see the updated list because.
Okay, yeah, move Solas down. Move Solas down all the way to rank 10. This guy is trolling. I don't even think he played the game because he think I suck. I played with him as Smurf.
I thought you were going to be duo partners.
Yeah, I think you guys were double up partners, and now you're like blaming each other.
This relationship is on the rocks.
Yesterday, and I played for fun, and I beat him. You guys need to go to my stream and watch my Saints Row game. Like this guy doesn't play the game, man. Like so it's like Asa. Is Asa here?
Who was 6? Who was 6? Who was 6?
Yeah, you could put Asa in at 6. There's an empty spot there.
Is Pokemon? Wait, Pokemon's there, Socks there, Goom's there.
He's looking at names in chat, dude.
DQA is kind of good too. DQA is kind of good, but can you see top 10 though? I'm not sure. Just put DQA there, probably somewhere. Maybe like 9. DQ. Wait, Soju? Where's Soju?
Yeah, where's Soju?
Oh, it's
I thought he was
Soju
on
6. Give Soju 6. This is my boy Soju.
Oh, okay. Give him back 6 again. All right.
Okay.
Got it.
Pandering to the TFT audience. I like that.
There you go.
Mew is not playing this set. Mew is not playing in this set. Otherwise, Mew is to play like third or second. Yeah, I highly rate Mew. Sadly, I actually watched this game after. I review his day 2. He's trolling. He's definitely trolling. He trolls so hard. Like he was playing Urgot. Like Urgot. Like what?
Who plays Urgot?
This guy doesn't play Urgot
so
every single time.
We moved Solus off the list entirely.
Oh. Did he? Was he? Oh yeah,
Wait,
he's
Solus
off.
gone? Okay, yes, Solus
Yeah.
gone. Solus gone. People cap.
All right.
There's
Wow,
no
that's
way.
harsh. That's harsh. Well, so are you satisfied with this? Should we lock it in? Is this your mid-set finale player tier list?
Yep. Just lock it. Just lock it.
Okay. All right. It's locked in. There you go.
This is exciting.
From
This
1
is
to 10.
exciting. And this also, like, one day we'll get Casper as a guest on Don't Talk If You Don't Know. And then I would love to hear him go more in depth onto all these players, because hearing his unfiltered opinions on players and their skill levels and their play styles is very interesting. I like
That'll be an episode I look forward to for sure. We've got a little bit of time left with good old Casparwu here, because we've got to go to the final segment. It's going to be the mailbag. Let's get your opinion on this question, who comes from Uakar. I'm going to murder the pronunciation. It seems like you often are ahead of the meta on reroll comps and have a unique take on what units are good. How do you go about developing your knowledge of the game each set and patch?
Just test out every single unit. In PvE, I actually read the unit ability, the damage, and what they do, trying to realize what they do. I'm not afraid to play off meta. I'm not afraid to play any unit in the game. I just want to try to innovate. I found have the most fun innovating stuff, and I think that's what the best players should do instead of just copying something. They should go innovate stuff. I think so. I think that's what made me the best, because I'm an innovator. So that's what made me the best player. And yeah, just with the unit ability and just trying to make it work. And yeah, instead of copying somebody. Yeah.
I have a follow-up question, but first, in chat, make sure you start asking your questions for Casparwu to answer. We'll pick one. He'll pick one to award a $10 gift certificate to. So get those questions in chat right now as well. And so my follow-up question to that then is, you said you read the abilities and all that. Everybody should be doing that, obviously. Do you actually go through and try to play games with each different champion as a carry? Like how many actual testing games on PvE do you do? Do you really go through and like, I'm gonna do Zillion carry this game. I'm gonna do a Lowy carry. You do.
You can ask like I do also in house like with like insane playthrough. You can ask Goobums. I've been playing like the Talancom that recently popped up. I've been playing that since PvE. I've been playing the Ligma reroll player before everybody else. I've been playing the Sinch reroll comp, Twitch reroll comp, probably 2 months. Like right now it's like since recently lots of people playing Twitch reroll because like Kunis playing, right? I was playing that back in November. Like come to ask like people in my chat, they already play all this crazy reroll comp like 2 months ago. I'm like always like 2 months ahead the meta. And yeah.
All right. That's sick. I love that. I love innovating and trying wacky comps. So that is a fun way to play for sure. So in Discord right now, there are some questions for you to review and pick one. Did you have one in mind yet, or should we give you?
No. Let me go to Discord real quick. GiantSlayer Teamfight Talkshow. Let me pick a question.
Go check it out. What do you think, Dan? In the meantime, about the idea of going through and doing such extensive testing, like how, in your opinion, how does that work as far as, is it good to spend all that time innovating and finding a lot of stuff that doesn't work versus just practicing the stuff that other people find that does work? It's like deck creation versus net decking to a certain extent. What do you think?
It's a very interesting question. I think it really depends on a couple factors. The first is how much do you want to dedicate your time to this game? If you're a person that wants to climb to Masters and maybe even Challenger, and you're very serious about it, then you really should try to develop your own unique take. Because one thing that I've learned as I've started to become a semi-consistent Challenger player, like I can hit Challenger pretty consistently. I can't push beyond like 1100 or so because I'm just not good enough yet. But the one thing that I realized more importantly is that, especially in set 6, there's so much knowledge to have in this set to be good and to master everything, that's almost impossible. And so even if you do like want to copy a player, you're not going to be able to do it as well as them, right? And there's some infamous examples, Mismatch Socks being one of them, Bebe being another of them, like a Korean player, Ram Kev. These are players, even Casper to a certain extent. You try to copy them, you're not going to have the same success as they are. And so I really encourage you that if you're trying to like take this game very seriously and say like, hey, I want to like get good at this game, is to copy less and think for yourself a little bit more, because you will develop unique take. And it's funny because right now, if I can just call him out a little bit. So in chat, one of my good friends, he's also a caster, esports law, Bryce. He doesn't have much time right now. He loves TFT like as one of the most biggest passions of his life. But he has a kid, he runs his law firm, he does a bunch of other stuff, so he doesn't have much time to play the game. And so what he has to do is rely on other people's knowledge a lot. So he watches their stream, he talks to them a lot. But I think what's going on with his climb in particular, because this dude is a good challenger player in his usual peak form, but he's struggling a little bit, is that he has so much information of every top player telling him what to do that he can't really come to his own conclusions and decide what to do. And I'm watching his gameplay, and I'm like, dude, roll. And he's like, no, I don't need a roll here at all. And then he like fast 8, and then he rolls 3 times and hits nothing, and he dies. And he's like, I don't know what I can do. And I'm like, bro, just do something. Do something. You're just like, unironically, dude, roll. And so I know that it's unfair. I have the platform.
Violence.
I'm the one that has the soapbox right now, and I'm preaching. But just the reason why I bring it up is because he's a player that's like so many others. Is you can do it. Just trust your own instinct and stop relying so much on other people telling you what to do in every specific instance.
You got to trust yourself. Obi-Wan's not going to be holding your hand the whole time. It's true. I can't wait for your episode tomorrow. I think it's gonna be fiery. Well, here's our mailbag chat winner, Huskliz. What differentiates your playstyle in ladder and tourney, Casparwu?
It's something I just figured out recently. As a lot of people know, I did very, very poorly in Challenger Series, and people are actually using against me and are very, really low. But I'm just saying, I was testing stuff. I already figured out the best way to play the game. I already proved myself in the ladder. Now I do a lot of experimentation in Challenger Series. Now I prove it myself in the Southern Cup. And my playstyle in ladder and tourney is quite different in ladder. I literally don't give a shit. Can I say this word? Can I say this word? I really don't give. I play for funcom. I just play for funcom. You guys watch my stream? I just play for fun. I mean,
he's not lying.
and in tourney though, yeah, I would just crack. Yeah, that's my.
In tourney, it gets serious. That's right. So the difference, the real difference,
you play the same. Honestly, you just play the same. There's no difference.
We get serious Casparwu in tournaments. Ladder is just for fun, Casparwu.
You slam more item. You slam more item in tourney though. You slam more item, and but I still like to greet my item. I greet a lot. Like some people, like Spicy Happy, GVA. Cool. They slam every single item, but I don't think that's the best way to play the game. That's why I think I myself as the best player, I greet my items. That's why I think Robinson actually and Spencer and I'm not Spencer, but yeah, I mean just like I think the best style you still have to greet some item. Yeah. So, otherwise, if you lower your item and you slam everything, it's not the best way to play the game.
It's true.
Yeah.
And actually, we talked a lot about this in the previous episode, but this is like a big problem that players like Goose had in the past, where like his slam style does very well on ladder, but in tournaments when things are much higher paced and people are able to like do some crazy stuff and you have a higher quality lobby, you're playing when you slam every item and you're just trying to straight up always win streak, you oftentimes find yourself like 5th or 6th, like in every lobby, maybe like a 3rd, right? So it's one of these situations where in tournaments, you have to approach it different than in a ladder game, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I have learned so much, not only about Casparwu, but just about teamfight tactics, philosophy, being able to divide attention between chat and the actual broadcast. I've learned a ton, and that brings us to the end of the show. Before we go, though, we have to thank Casparwu. We don't have to. It's our privilege to thank Casparwu for joining us today. It's been an awesome episode. Before you go, Any final thoughts, shout outs, anything you got for us, Casparwu? Go ahead.
I mean, wow. Shout out, I mean, everyone in the TFT community. I mean, it's really nice being in the show. First time talking to you, DoA, and yeah, I mean, I learned a lot from every big streamer, and Soji probably not here. I mean, just thank everybody. Like, love everyone. Love the Twitch chat. Love, yeah, I just love everyone. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's too many people. It's too many people. Like, too many boys. Too many homies. Jirachi, Ramcap, Kevin. Yeah, just all my fucking my chat, and yeah, just
Wow.
I can't say it. Just too many.
That was wholesome.
Fans the whole world. Fans the whole world.
And they say Delicious Milk's heart grew 3 sizes that day. It was heartwarming. Frodan, final thoughts as we close things out.
I'm just really glad that, we've taken the past few episodes of Teamfight Talkshow to explore different people. We had Spicy Appies last time, and he had popped off in Challenger Series, and congrats to him as well for popping off on Zon. Casper's great. I hope we can have him back sometime in the future as well when he has rank 1 and he is our representative going to Worlds. I would love nothing more. And I actually do agree that at his core, Casper is a player that is capable of doing something very well, like going very far in Worlds, because of his tournament playstyle is very, very effective. In terms of for myself, tomorrow night, and again, about 24 hours from now, I'll be on my Twitch channel hosting Don't Talk If You Don't Know, episode 2. The rankings are almost done. I think if not, they already might be released, but we will tweet it out and post it accordingly. And then, of course, next weekend, check out the mid-set finale. I'll be casting. Oh, they didn't announce the casters, but I don't know who's going to be casting, so make sure you check
We do
it
this
out.
every time. We do this every time as a tournament. People should be used to it now. Don't worry about it. It's a Teamfight talk show tradition at this point.
Oh, sorry, so I apologize.
Oh, they are released? Oh, good.
The rankings are released, apparently. I have to go check it. They are released.
Oh, are they? Wow.
They are released.
Spicy. Well, there you go. All right. Well, watch that tomorrow night. Don't Talk If You Don't Know. It's going to be a lot of fun, as usual. For myself, thank you to GiantSlayer for putting on this awesome show every week. A lot of people working behind the scenes that you don't see. They're in chat usually, but they do a great job, and we couldn't do it without them. Thanks to my co-host Frodan, and of course Casparwu for being an awesome guest here today. And for my own stuff, I'm streaming now pretty frequently. I'll be streaming 3 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. Watch me struggle back into Masters as I do a lot of AP Flex, because that's kind of my style. Maybe I'll try a Lowry reroll now. Who knows? I probably won't. I might need to study that a little bit. I won't do it. I'll have Casper
Masters
coach
is so
me.
close. Don't do it.
I'm so close again. But yeah, so watch that. Other than that, thanks everyone for watching Teamfight Talk Show. It's been a great show as always. We'll see you next time. Until then, play a lot of Teamfight Tactics. Be excellent to each other. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.